My ex reached out to me last week. It was strange seeing her message pop up on my alumni page after all these years. She's 34 now, I'm 36. Looking at her profile, life hadn't been kind to her lately. Her husband, who's 41, left her for a 22-year-old intern at his company. She has 3 kids, one who's 8 and 2 younger ones, 3 and 4. I couldn't breathe when I saw your photo, her message read. She went on about how handsome I still looked while she had aged. I wanted to ignore it, but memories from college came flooding back. It took me 3 years to get over her, and now here she was, dragging me back into the past. I remembered how Rachel and Sophia, 2 girls from our class, had told her I wasn't man enough. They said I was too soft, too weak for her. These girls were supposed to be our friends, but they were always whispering things in her ear. I warned her once, don't tell them everything about our life. They'll use it against us. She cried and said she had trust issues, but she ended up trusting them more than me. That trust led to her making out with multiple people at a party, including Rachel and Sophia. She blamed it on being drunk. When she tried to fix things, the trust was already broken. I couldn't continue, so I left. I only found out later, through Maria at the bookstore, that she moved on quickly. She never asked about me, never missed me. Instead, she dated several guys, including one of our mutual friends. What hurt most was that these friends were originally mine. I introduced them to her. They all kept her secrets and fed her negative stories about me. She got married to the guy her sister and friends approved of. Not particularly charming or good-looking, but stable with a good head on his shoulders. That's what she told me in her recent message. She also mentioned seeing me during the pandemic, still working while I was laid off. I lied and played up being unemployed, hoping she'd lose interest. Then she shared her story. Her husband confessed to an affair in 2019, got his mistress pregnant, and they divorced quickly. She got primary custody, with him seeing the kids occasionally. As she told me this, she started crying, saying this was the man everyone had chosen for her over me. She asked about my life, if I was married or had kids. When I said no, she started sending old photos of us together, acting like nothing had changed. My blood was boiling. How could she act like everything was fine? She never cared about me when I was hurting, never checked on me, and now she reaches out only after losing her looks and getting dumped? When she asked to call me, I agreed, thinking it would end things. Instead, her first words were sobs. I can't breathe. I miss your voice so much, she cried. She remembered my smile, my spontaneity, even my cologne. I stayed calm, but inside I was torn between the joy of hearing from someone I once loved deeply and the pain of remembering her betrayal. She begged to meet in person, saying she needed to explain. When I hesitated, she insisted we could eat outside despite the pandemic. I'll crumble if I don't see you, she pleaded. She admitted listening to bad advice, saying she struggled with choosing between me and her family's approval. She even claimed she cheated because she knew I wouldn't stop loving her otherwise. I couldn't handle her excuses. Please stop, I said. Focus on your kids. Maybe you'll meet a single father and create a blended family. But my aunt's words kept ringing in my head. She's a wolf in sheep's clothing. When you were hurting, was she there for you? The situation got worse when her friends started messaging me, saying if I really loved her, I'd give her another chance. The same friends who once said I wasn't good enough were now trying to guilt me into taking her back. Even her father, who once hated me and praised her ex-husband, messaged me asking to give her closure. I was furious. Where was my closure when she abandoned me? Now that she's been tossed aside with 3 kids, suddenly I'm good enough? I agreed to meet her. It was a mistake, but I had already slipped by answering her messages and taking her calls. She was waiting outside the restaurant when I arrived. I didn't notice her at first, but then I saw someone crying with their hands covering their face. She ran to hug me. I kept my arms at my sides. An elderly woman passing by asked if I was returning from military service. No, just old college friends, I said. She seems too emotional for just a friend, the woman replied. I was already regretting this meeting. She looked different now, older, heavier. She kept saying she missed me, that her heart was racing. She showed me photos of her daughters. They looked like their father. She seemed happy about this, but it just made me feel worse. She acted like everything was normal, so I played along until we finished eating. I suggested we walk to the nearby park to talk privately. Why did you want to meet? I asked. She said she missed me and begged me not to get angry as she explained. I wouldn't have known you were the one if I hadn't gone through all this, she said. If I hadn't been with those other guys, if I hadn't married him and been left. That's when I snapped. I started calmly. Let me get this straight. You cheat on me, stay friends with the girls who trashed me, The same ones you made out with at that party. You left me when I had no one else, when I trusted only you. And now you want back in my life because your husband cheated. Do you still talk to those friends? I asked. She nodded, crying. So you abandoned me, and now you want me back after your husband leaves you for someone younger? Do you realize how offensive this is? What's so special about what you're offering? You cheated on me, abandoned me, chose others over me, had kids with another man. You used me. She had a panic attack, saying she couldn't explain properly that she regretted her choices. I raised my voice. That's garbage. You moved on immediately. You dated guys we both knew right after me. I felt guilty thinking it was my fault, but you lied then and you're lying now. You never asked about me. I know you'll go running to your sisters and friends after this because you can't think for yourself. They'll say what they always did, that I'm no good and you deserve better. I wanted you to have my children. If you had married me, we'd still be together. Her sister called. She needed to get back for the kids. Walking to her car, she tried hugging me again. I resisted but gave in. She smelled my neck, saying she missed my scent and cologne. That night, she texted, I won't stop fighting for you. You asked what's special about me. Nothing. You're right. I gave myself to others but never felt what I feel with you. I fought it and listened to others instead of my heart. I paid for that mistake. You deserve a fresh start with someone younger. All I can do is try to prove myself to you. I hope you forgive me, but I understand if you don't. I didn't reply. I stopped responding to her messages after our meeting. She tried reaching out on Facebook, then sent a text before Christmas asking about my holiday plans. She shared some quote about forgiveness and late bloomers, hinting that she was the one who matured late and finally understood the pain she caused. I didn't respond. After Christmas, Sophia messaged me. She called me pathetic and cowardly for not forgiving her friend. According to her, a real man wouldn't hurt a woman's feelings like this. She claimed my past love must have been fake since I wouldn't give her friend another chance now that she wasn't as attractive. I replied to Sophia, what do I get that's so special? She cheated, abandoned me, never thought about me, and had kids with the man you approved of. The same man you told her was better than me? Sophia just sent a hand emoji and wrote, this conversation is over. You lose her. It's 2022. Women deserve better. My reply about her role in setting up the failed marriage shut her up. Sophia showed no remorse for advising against me years ago, then setting her friend up with a cheater. Instead, she attacked my character and called me less of a man. I hadn't seen this woman in 15 years, yet somehow this was my fault. Sophia tried guilt-tripping me about her friend spending New Year's Eve alone. The entitlement in that message was unreal. There was a pandemic with no mass gatherings allowed, but somehow I was supposed to feel bad? I hope others learn from my story. Avoid people with controlling, manipulative friends like Sophia. She's the same person who said I wasn't good enough, then set her friend up with a cheater. I think she attacked me to avoid taking responsibility for her bad advice. She probably got jealous seeing other women invite me for the holidays while I ignored her friend's invitation. These toxic people never change. Sophia likely played hero again when her friend cried to her, trying to make me the villain to save face. She's a manipulator who can't handle guilt. Looking back, there were red flags I missed. When I met my ex, she was already planning to leave her boyfriend. She told me he was cold and terrible, making me hate him before I met him. Years later, I ran into him. He was actually a nice guy who had no idea she spoke badly of him. I showed him an old email where she called him a drunk loser. He was shocked, saying she told him I was just a classmate. I'll admit, part of me keeps her unblocked because I know she's watching me suffer. She sees younger women messaging me, sees photos of my ex-girlfriends. When we met, she wasn't the glowing young girl anymore. She kept saying how handsome I was and how ugly she felt. The attention she once took for granted was gone, but I was gentle with her. I never yelled or tried to hurt her back. Other guys might have sought revenge, but I've moved on. Only the painful memories remain. In college, whenever we disagreed, she'd run to her sister or friends who always told her what she wanted to hear. She couldn't handle being wrong or feeling guilty. Her sister even gave her a checklist of what a real man should do. Her friends used her high school cheating trauma to manipulate her. They were all average-looking women with unattractive boyfriends or no relationships at all. My female friend explained they were frenemies, jealous of their pretty friend having a charming partner. They judged me for modeling and playing football, saying I'd cheat. Yet the stable, homely husband they approved of was the one who cheated. These yes women always validated her choices, even bad ones. One even told her to sample different men before settling down. The same friends who cried when she talked about loving me, worried she'd spend less time with them. Her military father's strict views about how men should behave added more pressure. They all approved of the man who eventually betrayed her, while judging me for superficial things like not always holding her hand in public. I've realized now, it wasn't just about her. It was about the toxic environment she chose to keep around herself, and how she never had the strength to think for herself or stand up for what she truly wanted. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with friends or family who might enjoy it too. Your support means a lot. And if you have any thoughts, questions, or story ideas, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next story.